Hey you guys, welcome back. I'm super excited because today is finally the day that I'm going to be doing all of my tomato sauce from the garden last year, and I'm going to be doing it using my frozen tomatoes. So I'm going to go ahead, get my frozen tomatoes out, put them on the counter to unthaw because we got to run to town. I'm going to let that happen while we are gone. And then we're going to do all our tomato stuff today. So let's go ahead and get them out of the freezer. Okay, so here are all of my tomatoes. I have some in big bags. I have some in containers. So we're gonna take these out, put them on the counter, and I'll show you how much we have in here from the garden last year. Okay, so here are all of the tomatoes. We've got a ton, as you can see. I've got some in containers, some in bags. So what's good about this is once they unthaw, a lot of the water comes out of them, meaning less cook time to evaporate it. So we're gonna leave these here, let them unthaw, and then when we get started, we'll be back. Okay, so we are back, and I'm super excited. These tomatoes took a lot longer than I thought they would to unthaw, and that's totally okay because it's the next day, it's Sunday now, so all of my tomatoes are unthawed, and we are gonna get started making the tomato sauce. So let's go ahead and I will show you the bags. Okay, so here are all the bags of the tomatoes. You can see that the bottoms have, this one especially, has a lot of water in it. And that is perfect because it's gonna cut down on your cook time. So what we're going to do first is I'm probably just going to grab handfuls of tomatoes out so the water is strained off of them, and we will be good to get started. So let's go ahead and get these drained. Okay, so what we're gonna do to get started is we're just gonna take these bags, and some of them are a little bit frozen still, but we're just gonna throw all the tomatoes directly into the bag, just like this, so all of the water is drained off of them. And then we're gonna blend them up and put everything, seeds, skins, everything in here. You're just basically gonna strain them out of the water into the blender. We're gonna blend them up, and then we're gonna put all of the contents into a pot on the stove. And then that's basically your tomato sauce, but we're gonna go further than that. So I'm gonna show you right now just how to make the tomato sauce. So let's go ahead and get all these tomatoes out of the water into the blender and blend it up. Okay, so now that this has blended for about a minute, I want to show you why I do the freezing method, because all of this water in this bag would have been in the tomatoes, and that just takes it longer to cook down. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pop off the lid, and we're simply just going to take our puree, basically is what this is, our tomato puree, and we're gonna pour it into this pot here. That was fast. And then I'm gonna put this back in, and I will show you what it looks like here. So we've just got a big thing of tomato puree, and we're gonna do that now until this pot is full with all the tomatoes. So my son is starting to help me just take all the tomatoes out of the water. So we're gonna do this in a ton of batches until we've got this full. We're gonna fill up as many pans or pots as we need to, and then we will go ahead with the next steps and do the rest. So this is the second batch.
Yep, it's the second batch.
The second batch
and I actually told you. You know what I told you? You know what I told you? I remember I said it reminds tomato stuff reminds me of
watermelon juice.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I did different with this one, which I think I'm gonna do with all the bags now, instead of my son doing this, what I did was I'm gonna take you to the sink and show you what I did with the bag for this one, because as you can see, it's a lot thicker than the first one because I got a lot more water out. So I'm gonna take you to the sink and show you what I did with that bag. Okay, so what I did was I just took my bag with all the water in it and I cut in the corner. I don't know if you can see that. Just like this, I cut a little hole in the corner and drain.
It is splashing.
Did I? So I drained it like this and then I squeeze it down. Squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. Sometimes the tomato will pop out of the corner, as you can see it is. So just kind of squeeze it up back in. And squeeze it, and I keep squeezing it until all the water is out. There's tomato coming out, so I just squeeze it. Keep letting the water out.
What?
The tomato comes, so I squeeze it out, and I just keep squeezing until I have as much water out of the bag as I can. And this is so awesome about frozen tomatoes because as you see, all this water coming out would be in the pot with all the tomatoes once I grind it up, and it takes the cooking time down a lot because you don't have to wait for it to all be evaporated. So I'm going to keep squeezing this down. We're going to throw this into the blender, and then once we have all of the pots full with all the bags that we have, we will show you the sauce on the stove. Okay, so we finally just finished all of those tomatoes that I showed you that we were doing. I'm gonna flip you around and show you how much we have here on the stove, and then we will go into the next spot, or the next parts. Okay, so here we have all the tomatoes. We've got 3 huge pots full. So this is my new pot my husband actually got me for my birthday. So I'm super excited to use that. I haven't even used it yet. So we've got that full. And then we've got 2 other pots full to the brim. So I'm going to just put the lids on and then we will start cooking it down until we get it to the thickness that we want. And then that's it. That's how you make your tomato sauce. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I've got these 2 on. I'm gonna grab that one there and turn it on at the back. And I'm just gonna cook it so we can cook it down, and then once it's to the thickness that we want, it will be all done, and that will be our tomato sauce. Okay, so now you can see here, I don't think I can have these pots any more full. So now you can see here that it's really boiling, and you can see how loose it is, very watery. So we're just gonna keep cooking this down until it thickens. And then I will show you what that looks like. You can see how loose it is. See that there? So you want that to be more like a sauce where it's not so watery. So we're gonna cook it down and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so you can see now that it's cooking down. It's very, very thin, like kind of like watery. And this is the part about freezing your tomatoes that's important, because if I didn't, there'd be a lot more water in the pots, but you can see that it was watery before. It's even waterier, is that a word? Now. So you're just gonna keep cooking it down until it's thicker, and then your tomato sauce will be done. So I will show you now when it's finally done what it looks like so I don't keep coming back. But you can see that it's getting a little bit thicker when I pull it up because the water's coming to the top. But there we go. We're just going to keep cooking down and then I will show you once it's done. Okay, you guys, so I just turned off 2 of the pots. I believe that they're done to what I'm gonna like them at. So I will show you, I'll flip you around and show you what they look like, and then that is it for the tomato sauce. Okay, so these 2 are done. That is a very nice tomato sauce. You can see. So you can see that these pots were full to the brim. So you can see there how much of the water evaporated from the tomatoes. So there you go, guys. That's exactly how you make fresh tomato sauce from frozen tomatoes. And that's it. Just like that. Super, super excited. So it worked perfect. So there you go, guys. That's exactly how you make tomato sauce from frozen tomatoes. And now you can either can this, just tomato sauce, and pull it out as you need it and add whatever spices to it. Or if you want to make homemade anything with a tomato base, you can make things from the tomato sauce into either barbecue sauce, ketchup, marinara sauce, or whatever else it is that you like. So we're just going to leave this like this, and then as we use it for other recipes, you can pull it out. But if you wanted to make just plain tomato sauce, that is exactly how you do it from frozen tomatoes. And there you go. So if you find this video helpful or informational, make sure you share it along. If you have any questions at all about anything that I did here, drop it down below in the comment section. And as always, I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. I'm so grateful that doing this for the first time, my son helped me along, as you saw there in the beginning. He didn't help with this part. I actually burnt my thumb. The tomato sauce popped up and splattered on my thumb, so I'm glad that he didn't help with this part, but I just love that I'm able to be home, doing new things, teaching him new things, that he can do this with me, and I'm just absolutely blessed for that. So there you go, guys. That's how you make tomato sauce. And as always, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for following along and watching us. Ring that bell, subscribe so you never miss a video, and share this video. Comment, like I said, if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys back here next time. Bye.